everything else to this moment and what we're needing. So you can lay down, you can sit nice and tall, use support, whatever allows you to have that nice long spine. Rooting into those sit bones and lifting the ribs helps to set that whole base. It's a bit of a lift, support, and to keep that. Invite sort of lift of the ears or the lengthening of the back of the neck and feel the shoulder blades come down. Invite them to come down. Good. Notice perhaps if the jaw could soften. Perhaps close the eyes, turn inward. Focus the breath in the belly by putting your attention there. Go ahead and feel, get out of your head. Feel the movement of the breath in the belly, low back, that whole pelvic bowl. Inviting a little grounding on that exhale. That's just sinking downward, letting go, dropping in. Letting the breath to expand and lengthen, and stay tuned in with it. Follow the breath, follow the movement of the breath, follow whatever it is that you notice in this moment as you actually take the time to do so. Whatever that may be, whether it's physical sensation, emotional content, stress levels, energy levels, anything at all. Not needing to change it, just noticing what is at this moment. Perhaps be getting an awareness, though, of what is showing up for you. And for me today, well, it's a full moon today, and I'm generally an emotional creature. Full moons tend to enhance that. So I'm noticing emotion. So I think I'm actually going to walk you through intentionally today, working with releasing and transforming energy when throughout our practice. There's many forms to do that. So basically, we hold issues in our tissues. It's scientifically proven. That's why they do double-blind studies. What we're thinking, what we're feeling has an effect on the outcome, has an effect on our tissues, right? So sometimes when we're in our yoga practice or in general, particularly if we have anything chronic happening, there's almost always some underlying emotion or trauma in those areas of the body, and we can consciously release it. Energy just requires a place to go. If it has nowhere to go, it's got to stay there. Okay? And energy follows thought. Okay? So whatever we're thinking, we redirect the energy. So just almost, it's very similar to when I invite you to breathe into your belly and invite that sinking downward. That exhale is grounding, sending your awareness downward. Good. So generally we use the exhale throughout our practice to conduct energy, to release with the exhale. Then when we give it, when we add thought to an intention to it, then we give the energy marching orders, whether it's emotion, trauma, stress, tension, doesn't really matter. Good. Most of us is the most powerful way to do that is with imagery, right? So I'm just going to give you a few examples and then I'll walk you through some practice with it and then let it evolve to whatever you need. And so just let's maybe take our attention into the hearts. Yeah, we have usually some material in there we can work with. A little taller again, drop the shoulders, and take your attention, your breath into the heart. And perhaps there's, it's just soft and open and easy. If there's any heaviness or anything going on in that heart, though, or anywhere in your body, feel free to just let your awareness go there if there is an area drawing you. Just imagine now on the exhale, inviting a release in the form of, let's say, butterflies. It's very common, actually, in many practices or different techniques throughout the world to use because the butterfly itself is a powerful image of transformation. So as you breathe out, you can imagine breathing out butterflies. You breathe in whatever it is you're feeling, you breathe out something that releases it. So give the butterflies a color, but they don't have to be butterflies. Maybe they're moths. Maybe it's any kind of creature that you need to exhale. Just basically allowing it. You start with butterflies and then let it be what it needs to be in order to transform the energy that you're working with. Hey, perhaps we're feeling a little pissed off. Right? Anger is real. It's all right. It's an emotion just like anything else that's valid in many ways, but we don't want to stew in it. So as you breathe in, you breathe into that anger. As you breathe out, you like breathe out fire, you breathe out smoke, whatever, frustration, right? So whatever you need to release, we just give it an image and imagine that exhale as releasing it with something that is it seems appropriate. Yeah, good. So that's the idea. Let's just start with, actually, let's come onto our feet. Good. Come on up onto your feet. Good. Let's get those feet underneath the hips. Look down, adjust your feet so that the outer edge of your feet are lined up with your mat. Left and Erin. Good. Which means that you're a tiny bit pigeon-toed, actually. Right? So the heels splay out just a tad so that the feet are in line with the outer edge of your mat. Good. And then you're going to root into those feet. Feel that engagement, that support that comes up through the legs right up into the pelvis. Lift the rib cage. Hopefully sense that the pelvis dropping into place. Good. That lift of the ears, lengthening of the back of the neck. Good. Bring that all the way up. Shoulders open. Drop back and down. Jaws are soft still. And a sense of everything being stacked on top of each other. Mountain. Become that mountain. Just breathe. Hopefully that little extra engagement in that deep low belly. So just below the belly button there, hug it in towards your spine. And let's take an arm overhead. You're gonna grab hold of your wrist. Good. One wrist, doesn't matter which one. Root particularly into that foot. Keep that low belly engaged. That shoulder blade should stay anchored. You're gonna press the arm away from you, but your hand's going to resist it on your wrist. Good. And then just tip away from that arm. So a bit of a side bend. Keep the length in the neck. Just take a breath in and out. Draw the tailbone down to help come back using foundation. You need to readjust that shoulder. Good. Let's use a little release technique, shall we? So again, when you're ready, you're rooting, engaging, good, tipping. Take a breath in, focusing on what you're feeling, sensing. Exhale something like that feels appropriate to release, whether it's physical tension, emotion, whatever it is. Come back, give it another try. Good. So engage, lengthen, tip, breathe into it, exhale, whatever you need to release it. Good. Try that one more time. Good. Yeah. It's okay to, you know, as you start off, it might be what the heck? Just maybe play with different images. Some can be stronger for you than others. And come back to center. Let's take a moment to just check it out and stay with what you're noticing. And so feel it out. What are you feeling and where? Take care of the other side. So again, you're gonna grab a hold of the other wrist, bring it overhead, root into that foot, invite that belly to hug in, be supportive. Head, shoulder blades anchored. You're gonna be pressing the arm a little bit away from you for engagement while you resist it with your hand. Good, tip. Yeah, just wherever this side says stop for whatever reason, breathe into what you're feeling. Breathe out whatever you need to. Maybe a little smoke. Yeah. Come back, use the tailbone to help. Readjust as needed. Keep that shoulder blade anchored. Engage, tip, breathe into what you're feeling, color, breathe out whatever color will help release whatever it is you're working with here. Come on back. Good, so try that 2 more times on the side. Good, work with whatever seems to be good. Effective for you. It can change like every day. Every moment, some days. Finish off with this one. Good. Roll back, bring the arms down. And we talked about the heart a little bit, actually heart, front of the shoulders, front of the neck. Usually some material there to work with. We start turn sideways actually show you a different I think back bend that I've showed you before. So I'm going to invite you to interlace your fingers, and you can decide whether you want to have the hands flat. Good. Basically, it could be right on your sacrum, a triangular bone at the base of your spine, or right in the small of your back there. Good. You could also adjust your hands so you're clasping in this form. And either way, good. Make sure you've got your mountain stance first. Root into those feet, lift the ribs, lengthen the back of the neck. Feel the shoulder blades come down. Good. Belly's engaged, so you're not just letting the belly drop. Hug it in. Good. Excellent. Now push your hands into your back. Good. So that's the engagement, whether your hands are flat, good, or clasped in this form. Press your hands into your back. Keep that lengthening through the back of the neck or the ears as you then press into your feet and invite your back bend. Shoulders stay down, just breathe. Good, as needed. Feel free to breathe into whatever you're sensing. Perhaps you exhale. Good. I'm light for some reason. So I'm just gonna breathe in, breathe out light. Maybe I'm just making actually that makes sense for me now. I'm just shining, allowing the light within me to shine brighter on the exhale as I release. So, right, it becomes whatever it needs to be. Good, root into those feet, come on back. Good, you can release the hand. Let's clear off the back of the body, shall we? Don't, if you feel like you want to bring the feet in a little closer, a little wider, do it. Trust what your body is telling you. Good. Again, make sure the outer edge of your feet is lined up with the edges of your mat. Get taller. Start with the tailbone lifting. So you're like tipping your whole spine forward. Start to root into your feet and invite that lift to the sits bones just to wherever. Oh, yeah, I'm climbing a lot of hills. Things are a little stiff. Okay. Good. So hands can be supportive or not, whatever feels right for you. Good. Generally, little engagement can help with release. So root into those feet as you breathe in and hug the legs back a bit. Good. And then just invite that tipping into any space you've created on the exhale. And you could be exhaling through the mouth imagery. You could also breathe into the tightness, breathe into whatever it feels right. And instead of even imagery, it could be more feeling, a sense of just releasing denseness or heaviness down into the earth with the exhale. And again, just focusing on what you're feeling. Breathe into it, breathe out, invite a flow, a release into the earth on the exhale in whatever way that comes to you. And I'm working with some really heavy shit. I go right down into like the lava, into the earth to transform it. So, right? Yeah, trust what comes to you. Good. If you end up in a bit of a ragdoll here and just allow that upper body to hang as well, and there's a bit of still engagement rooting into those feet. Here you can just invite a flow with the exhale from down the back of the legs, down the spine, and into the earth in whatever way that's working with you with each breath. First, you access it with the inhale, then you release it on the exhale, give it a place to go. Good. Take the time. You can always pause me, right? If you're like, no, man, I'm in the middle of something. I'm still letting go. Stay there. But when you're ready, bend into your knees, root into your feet, root to rise. The press, that power is coming from the base up. As you come up, if you're down for a while, you might get a little lightheaded. So just come on up into mountain, root, reach, and allow that grounding dropping in on the exhale, or invite it on the exhale. Letting your weight drop downwards. Good. Excellent. So you know what? Let's just make it a real simple practice today. Just getting in particularly every movement the spine needs to be healthy, and then the rest of the body from there through the spine. It's so important. So let's just take a wide stance now. So it's called spinal suspension. So you're going to take a wide stance with your toes out, heels in. Bend into your knees, slide those hands down. Good. Readjust the feet if they don't feel right. Generally, knees, toes point in the same direction. You're going to root into the feet a little bit. You're going to press into your hands, lift the rib cage. You're not just hanging in those ligaments, right? There's support. Good. That length right up to the ear, shoulder blades down. The long spine here is really important with support. Good. And so kind of pressing more into one hand. Good. Hug that deep low belly in for support. Keep it engaged. And just invite, as you press into the hand, rotation. And the head turns as well. Make sure you're not tucking the chin. Keep that nice long neck. Good. And then you go slowly and mindfully from side to side. Good. You're going to work with that breath in some way. Good. Yeah. Just find a rhythm that works for you, back and forth. Good. Again, you can just invite any imagery that will be supportive for the release. And that's fine. But just know that you could. So you might notice we're ringing out here. So we're kind of ringing things out. You can keep moving. You can just keep a rhythm. You could also be like, oh, right there's something stuck. Good. So I'm just going to pause, take a breath into what I'm feeling, invite what's needed for the release. Oh, and back to some actually minor moths. I like glowing moths, I guess, from my exhale. There we go. There's a shift. And once I give that energy that's stuck there a place to go, it frees up. Oh. Good. So that's the idea. Oh, there's another spot. I'm going to take a breath into it. Focus on your sensations, wherever they are, physically, emotionally, whatever it is. Invite what's needed for the release. Kind of got more like a dark cloud moving there. Good. So allow your imagination to help you. Our imagination is the tool to work with subtle energy. Come on up when you're ready. Go ahead and readjust those feet. Come on out. A little shake, whatever movement wants to happen. Just drop your feet underneath those hips again. Good. And then find your way into whatever wants to happen for a moment. Come back to mountain. Take a moment to just breathe. Tune inward. Notice what you notice at this moment. So we direct, right, energy with breath and intention. And so let's just take a few breaths. Let's imagine taking the breath up from our feet, up the front of the body, all the way up to the head. And on the exhale, letting it flow down the back of the body, all the way back down into the earth. Good. It comes from the earth again, but all the way up the front of the body. On your inhale, exhale, release it back down the back of the body into the earth. Good. Let any imagery come that supports that. Inhale up the front of the body. Exhale, flows back down the back of the body into the earth. Good. Take a moment to just again ground, exhale, sink downward, drop into what you just created with just a few poses, intention, imagination, and gratitude. Namaste. You take this same lesson, techniques, tools into the rest of any practice. And let your imagination change your life. Transformation, alchemy. We turn our lead into gold and we'll walk away shining. See you next time.